Hey everyone, Big Sloss here. Time to talk about a very different topic today compared to last video's topic. Today I wanted to talk about, well, my chair wants to talk too today apparently, but today I want to talk about what happens when video games hit it big, and honestly, kind of like a negative of what happens when games hit it big. So, the two prime examples you probably saw in the thumbnail, and the two prime examples I'll be talking about most today, is Skyrim and GTA 6. Before we get into that, if you like the video, please like, comment, or subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in more of my videos. Today, or not today, but very recently, GTA 6 has been delayed again, and there's been a lot of controversy around it. You know, Actman made a pretty good video, a lot to do with alleged union busting, or there's also been some protest from former employers or employees who are not happy about the layoffs. Very interesting stuff. Apparently like 30 employees were let go, and they were pretty like in leadership positions over a Discord. But that's not necessarily the main topic of this video. That's just something that has happened recently that made me think about this subject. So, for games like GTA and Elder Scrolls, there's kind of a problem when games actually do phenomenally well. GTA, for example, was coming out with game after game after game after game, and then GTA 5 came out, and it was seen as this widely regarded masterpiece. And then, since then, in terms of a new game, it's been basically radio silent, I guess, with the exception of GTA Online. And then I'll also just add this in the middle here. I haven't really played any of the GTA games. I haven't really played any of the Elder Scrolls games. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. I have no idea. So I don't really have a dog in the fight, but it's just like interesting to see from an outside perspective. Speaking of Elder Scrolls, Skyrim came out after, again, kind of a development cycle like GTA, where it was like game after game after game after game, and then Skyrim came out. And then again, radio silence. I guess the only exception would be they would remaster these games over and over again. Skyrim more so than GTA 5, but they would remake these games every time a new console or new generation came out, but there was never any development put into a next game. Elder Scrolls also has Elder Scrolls Online, so that also pushed away from a sequel to Skyrim, or a sequel to the Elder Scrolls mythos. And it's kind of just a downside of when games hit it really big. So GTA 5 and Skyrim are seen as like these absolute masterpieces. And this also happens with other games too, like The Last of Us. I mean, you could argue even Halo to an extent, with the amount of just not even making a new game. They just want to go back to remaking the old trilogy because they don't feel confident in their abilities anymore. But more so with these two big names. I guess part of it is they just struck gold so well that now it's financially better to be lazy and just resell this masterpiece game every time a next generation comes out, rather than, you know, playing a dangerous game and making a new sequel. But at the same time, what it does is when a new game is announced, so GTA 6 or Elder Scrolls 6. Oh, that's funny, they're both 6. I didn't even realize that. But when it comes to announcing these new titles, it has these extremely long development times. I mean, heck, I think the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser is almost 8 years old now, and we haven't really heard anything else from it. There's been no other trailers. Like, there's building up hype, and then there's killing hype. Releasing a teaser trailer, and then followed by 8 years, almost a decade, of no other information. You built up hype for no reason. I have to assume that whoever authorized the release of that teaser probably doesn't work there anymore, because releasing a teaser trailer just to have almost a decade of no information just absolutely kills all hype for a game. And there's a big amount of frustration with the fans too, because, you know, if you go to the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser trailer video, if you go to the post where Rockstar delayed GTA 6, you'll see a lot of comments that are like, when I first played GTA 5, when I first played Skyrim, I was a kid in middle school. Now I'm a full-grown adult with a family. And that's kind of, forgive me if I'm saying this a lot, but that's kind of crazy. You know, what is going on internally to cause such a slow development time? And I really think a lot of it is fear. Fear of not being able to strike gold again. And by waiting so long already, it creates this situation of really high expectations. And it's probably going to be really hard to meet those very high expectations, since the wait's been so long, that when a game does finally come out, GTA 6 or Elder Scrolls 6, I can already assume that reviews, even if the game is good, reviews are going to be like, really good game, but is it worth the wait? And that's where the mixed emotions will come from these, or towards these studios. And I really think that if these studios, you know, right after they struck gold with Skyrim, right after they struck gold with GTA 5, if they just kept making games like bam, 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 like they did beforehand, they would be in a much better position. Because even if, like, let's say they made GTA 6 3 years later, even if it wasn't as good as GTA 5, at least nobody waited 20 years for it, you know, or 15 years. But yet now there's this huge wait time for a sequel, that it's going to create this room of really high expectations that are going to be darn near impossible to meet. Same thing for Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, they've released Skyrim, or they've re-released Skyrim like 10 different times across 2 or 3 console generations. And people have high expectations for Elder Scrolls 6. People are already annoyed that a teaser trailer came out 8 years ago and there's been nothing since then. So if they did the same thing, if they continued releasing their products at a faster pace, so like bam, 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 even if Elder Scrolls 6 wasn't as strong as Skyrim, they would still be in a better position, because people wouldn't have had to wait so long. But this long wait is going to hurt these companies, because like I said, even if GTA 6 or Elder Scrolls 6 is a masterpiece, the wait is going to be why people do not like the game. And then a double whammy, let's say the game isn't that good. People waiting almost 15 years for a new game that's not as good as the previous entry, that's another situation that is also not good, because now it's a double whammy of people not liking the game and having to wait 15 years for it to come out. That is a very, very dangerous place to be, and that could lead these companies to losing a lot of money. So that fear of not releasing a game right away is probably going to hurt them. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe and bye-bye, everybody.